to two teenagers who were unprepared to be parents. After dropping out of high school, they began to abuse alcohol and drugs. On top of that, my father greatly struggled with mental health problems that were never properly treated or understood, causing him to be in and out of hospitals, rehabs, and jail for most of my life. My mother ended up signing away her parental rights, and that was the start of my life up until 4. My sisters and I were fortunate that my grandparents were able to take custody of us and keep us together. Although there were many hardships in my early childhood, my grandparents tried their best to provide a life of happiness for us, and it is something I feel even more grateful for now looking back. Things took a turn for the worse when I was 11 years old. My papa, the person I considered to be my dad, passed away. This is something I didn't understand at the time, but I would later learn it would have a great effect on my life and the way I form connections with people. Now, I didn't come here just to dump all of my childhood traumas on you. Please trust that there is never a dull moment in my therapy sessions. Everything I have experienced in life and gone through has made me the person I am now, but it also made me the teenager that I was. I became someone who threw themselves into work and school as an escape and even as a form of validation. When my papa passed away, depression and darkness crept over my home in a very unsettling way. When I couldn't find love, peace, and happiness at home, I sought the approval, attention, and guidance of academic recognition and school authority figures in my life to cope. This produced a driven and successful student, but also a girl who was very at risk and susceptible to grooming and sexual abuse, which is what happened to me. When I was 16, my teacher groomed and sexually abused me for a year from my junior to senior year of high school. Now, you may be thinking that's junior year, right when students begin being accepted into the Pathway to Success program, and that's correct. At the same time as I was balancing ACT testing and studying, 4 AP classes, working 25 plus hours a week at a local restaurant, and being part of extracurricular activities and programs such as the Pathway to Success program, I was being mentally, emotionally, and sexually abused nearly every day. The harsh truth to this is something I have learned since coming forward, and that I am not the only one. According to the Children's Treatment Center, nearly 10% of students in the US experience sexual abuse from their teachers. Even though I was showing all the signs of a child being abused, from struggling with school, sudden weight loss, depression, irritability, when I was asked, I was too scared to say anything. Scared of others' opinions about it, what would happen to me and my family, and threats of my future being ruined. 1 year ago, in August of 2022, at the age of 20, I came forward about my experience and reported it. It took a lot of courage. It took a lot of courage, healing, and support from my community, from this community, for me to do that and for me to be where I am today. I didn't realize it at the time, but this organization was the biggest blessing and environment that I could have been a part of. The minute I went to Ms. Alka about my story, she and many of the women at the Aum Foundation did not leave my side in showing continued support and love, from helping me find resources like therapy, attorneys, and motivating me to get back into school. The dedication to the progress of my future has not stopped. The Aum Foundation is an organization that says what they're about and backs it up with their actions. Helping girls in low-income and under-resourced households have opportunities to learn about financial literacy, empower them for life through networking and etiquette, but most importantly, by being fully invested in the development and success of their journey is truly the greatest gift they give. It wouldn't be a speech written by me if I didn't take a moment to mention one of my favorite artists of all time and of this generation, Taylor Swift. She has a song where she allegedly explores the same theme of what I experienced called Would've, Could've, Should've. And she sings the lyrics, "Give me back my girlhood, it was mine first." This line has always stood out to me because it struck a nerve within my own path. I know the times that I can't get back and what was taken from me in my girlhood, but that is even more of a reason for motivation to give back to the girls now. I'm proud to be able to give back to this community in the way I can right now by being a representation of what my path has looked like with them so far, but please trust in the future it will look different in the way I give back. My hope for the future in this community and this foundation is that we hold ourselves accountable for the statement that it takes a village, because we are the village. This is not to blame anyone else for what happened to me at all, but instead to instill a sense of purpose in you in speaking about mental health, emotional welfare, and advocating for children's rights. In this case, more specifically, teen girls. The same 17-year-old that I was, and the same that you were or that you knew. Aum symbolizes the connection between all living things, that we are all deeply interconnected and that there is a purpose to this life. As someone who has faced difficulty and hardship in my life, I understand what it feels like to be beaten down and wonder what all of it was for. What did I go through this for, and how does it align with my future or my purpose in life? My knowledge of the hero's journey compels me to say that maybe there is someone in this room who's heard my story and feels inspired to get involved in this or help further the impact of this community. If you're in this room, in this community, in this city, state, country, world, and ultimately in this universe, you are here for a reason, and some part of my message was meant to be heard by you. Thank you.